just really want to inspire you to dream again and to go for what you really want. And if we can support you in any way, please, please let me know, let our team know. We are here for it, right? And at the end of the year, let's celebrate together for hitting our dreams. Introducing the Vixen Voice, a podcast for ambitious women entrepreneurs ready to move into their feminine essence, live their truth, and unlock their full potential. I'm your host, April Roberts, and each week I'll be interviewing inspiring women who decided to take a leap of faith to pursue their dream. Women who believe that they were born for something bigger. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Vixen Voice. First and foremost, Happy New Year. And even if you're listening to this podcast at another time, keep listening. I just wanted to today share a couple of messages with you. Number one, just the gratitude and honor I feel that you spend your time listening to this podcast, to the amazing guests we bring on, and to the topics we present to you. It's just such an honor being able to do this podcast. At first, I think I've shared before why I started it, and especially at the beginning of my business, right, when I had enough going on. But I had a couple of purposes in starting a podcast in general. Number one was, as a financial advisor, I had a monthly kind of podcast that I did for my clients since April of 2020. And I also had a TV show, but I always had to send from like 2016 to 2022. And I was interviewed on a number of things. I was on the morning talk show. And I loved the creative process of doing TVs and doing kind of the webinar, which was really a podcast. We called it webinars back then. And I loved bringing information and value to the audience. Like I just vibed with the entire experience and the creative process with the team. And what I didn't love was that I was highly regulated as a financial advisor, so I had to watch what I said. And as I learned more about, we as energetic beings, not just human beings, like our physical selves, but we have our energetic selves, our spiritual selves, all these things, right? I understood how damaging that is to our vocal chakra, right? Our throat chakra gets blocked when we can't say what we want and when we can't express ourselves. And I became kind of obsessed with, a lot of times people say helping women find their voice, whatever it is, but I selfishly wanted to say whatever I wanted and talk about whatever I wanted. And then I hoped that what I was interested in would be appealing to other people. And going top 5% globally in less than a year shows me that we did bring interesting topics to all of you listening. And again, that's an honor and something that I feel immense gratitude for. So I wanted to start the new year out by thanking you for listening, thanking you for participating in this community that we have created, and thank you for sharing the Vixen Voice with other women or people that you care about. So I'd love to start there. And then I'd also like to share that my purpose, once I understood that was my reasoning for doing a podcast, I was like, okay, what am I going to talk about? And I realized that it was really important to me to help people dream again. This is what I did retirement planning, right? Always we started with their values and their dreams. That was the first thing I talked about with any new potential client. And I love to get them excited about retirement instead of fearful. That was my favorite part of my job. And then when I realized I wanted to work with female entrepreneurs and with women because I felt called to work with the feminine essence and to help women find peace, joy, and love again. And guess what? When you find those, abundance follows. I just thought, cool, that's what we're going to do on the podcast, right? I really want to inspire women to think outside of the box, to dream again, but at the same time to know that you're not alone. We all have journeys, and our journeys have ups and they have downs. So I hope that we do a good job here on the Vixen Voice, really sharing both sides of that coin, not creating a highlight reel that you're trying to match yourself up against, and you'll never be able to because it's not real. It doesn't exist, just like perfection doesn't exist, right? So my second ask is that, first I think to you, and second, I'd love to ask that you start dreaming. It's the beginning of the year. What do you really, really want? Even if you're not willing to tell anyone yet, what is your heart pulling you toward? There's something you really, really want. And I really want to ask that you go for it. If I can be of assistance in that, if anyone on my team, anyone I know, any of our guests reach out to me, I will connect you with them because I really want this to be the year of our dreams. And if you're willing to state it and proclaim it and own it, which I also can help you do, I'd love to help you break it down and get there. But again, maybe I'm not the right person to help you. If there's anyone I know within my stratosphere, I will introduce you. Just reach out. I've always shared. You can DM me on any social media platform. I will see it. You can also email team@vixengathering.com. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you could just drop it in the comments below. That would be kind of cool too. It just really just depends on where you are in your journey, but do yourself a favor. You can start by writing down what you really want and don't even show it to anyone, right? Like get it out of your brain, get it out of your heart, get it out of your body onto paper. And then if you can share it with someone, you're getting so much closer to achieving it, right? So again, thank you. It's an honor to bring this podcast to you, to get to talk to the amazing women I get to talk to hear from all of you. And then I just really want to inspire you to dream again and to go for what you really want. And if we can support you in any way, please, please let me know, let our team know. We are here for it, right? And at the end of the year, let's celebrate together for hitting our dreams. And then another purpose for this podcast was I'd had a number of mentors that I'd helped. Even one, I helped him launch a national seminar. He was a 10 times best-selling author. I had another mentor who is very well known, and they would interview us just like I interview my clients sometimes, right? And they would pick my brain and then use it to build their brand, and then I never got any credit and I never got anything in return. And well, that's not fair. I got the mentorship from them, so I was happy to give back. But I just always said to myself, when I have clients and they're doing amazing work, and when I have access to other amazing women, or I get to be a mentor or something like that, I want to shine a spotlight on the women with the amazing ideas. And so I wanted to create the Vixen Voice. The third reason was as a trifecta of win, 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 right? Obviously, we strive to bring valuable content that is meaningful to you, our audience, our listeners. We love you. Second, we want our guest highlighted as the expert and the amazing human beings that they are. And then third, we win because we get our name out there too, right? I really, as you go into this year, think how you can create more win-win scenarios. I spoke at a summit before Christmas, and they were talking about how it's the year of collaboration. And I was kind of laughing because it's been that for me since I left my last company, right? Like that's why I love working with women because collaboration is a feminine energy, right? I don't want to compete. I want to collaborate. I mean, competition is not real. It's false, right? But collaboration, connection, I mean, it's just, it fills your heart. So yeah, think how you can create win-win situations. And you hear the guest on here a lot, and I'll share with you, I always talk to the guest afterwards. I'm always like, hey, can we have a little networking meeting and see how we can support each other? Because it's such a bonding experience. We're talking about sometimes very deep stuff. And regardless, we're sharing ourselves and it's a bonding experience. And I don't want that relationship to end. And so it's incredibly powerful. And some of my best collaborations have come from guests. Some of my best collaborations have come from my clients. Sometimes, that summit I mentioned, she was a guest on my podcast and then wanted me to be in her summit. Yeah, it's just cool. It's like the gift that keeps giving. So create win-win scenarios. And if you can do a triple win, like I try to do here on the Vixen Voice, even better. Like you don't even understand the exponential impact you're making at that point. Because the third part, you, the audience, unless you reach out to us or leave a comment or leave a review, which is the greatest kindness you can do, we see the numbers. We know you're out there listening, but we don't really see the impact we're making, but we know we are. And that's enough. Yeah. I mean, sorry, I got to overcome with emotion for a second. It's just exactly what we strive to do. So thank you for that. So, in honor of this, Haley, my podcast producer, and I were chatting. And I said, we did a launch party when we launched the Vixen Voice. And I was shocked because everyone stayed on for the full 2 hours. We featured guests that had already recorded. We had fun. We gave away prizes. We broke out into networking rooms so the attendees could meet each other. It was just super fun. And we planned to do it for our 1-year birthday. And we just had too much going on. And we were in a transition period and we didn't think we could do it well. And I wasn't going to do anything for you, my amazing audience, that we couldn't do well. I don't like doing anything that we can't do well, right? And so we put it off. So anyway, Haley and I were chatting and we realized how many guests we bring through and we're like, cool, let's do a networking party with all the guests each quarter, right? And so they can reconnect, which we may still do. But then I was like, hold on, but I want the audience involved. I want all of our listeners to be involved. And, the challenge is there are hundreds and thousands of you. So to get us all in a Zoom room is kind of tough. But then I just did the summit that another guest invited me to. And there was a woman there talking about the power of summits. So I thought, that's it. Every quarter, we're going to do a Vixen Voice Summit. And I might be speaking too soon because a lot of energy goes into these summits. So I don't know if we'll do it quarterly. Let me take that back. Maybe twice a year. But my goal is to do one March of this year. In fact, we have it in the works where we're going to have 10 to 15, maybe 20 guests. We might do a multi-day summit. Guests who are here on the podcast who, we heard the most from you or we know they made the most impact. Anyway, we're going to do a Vixen Voice Summit. And the first one will be virtual so that as many of you as possible can attend. It will absolutely be free of charge. And then if you want to be in the room with us, there'll be a small fee to upgrade. We'll call it the VIP room and you'll get some extra stuff. But, we will stream it so that anyone can attend from anywhere for free. And it will be me facilitating, our amazing guests bringing to the table in detail what they do for their clients. And we will have, again, if you're able to join us VIP, it's the only way we can do it, send you to breakout rooms so that you can meet each other. I just met amazing people at the summit I was at this week. So yeah, anyway, that's what I wanted to bring to you. So we'd love to hear from you. just again, shoot an email to team, Team, at vixengathering.com, or pull up your phone right now and either go to the Vixen Voice or Vixen Gathering on any social media. Well, the Vixen Voice is only on Instagram. Find us on social, Vixen Gathering, or find me personally. Shoot me a DM saying, I'm in for the Vixen Voice Summit. I'm in. And if I get at least 50 of you, 100 of you to say you're in, the team and I will go full force ahead to bring you the most impactful, beneficial summit that we can. And it'll be informative, awesome, amazing. It will help you up-level your life, dream again. But I promise we will also have fun. Because if you know me, I don't know if you know the print assessment, but I love that assessment. You know, there's all these different assessments you can take. And I'm an 8-7 on print. I'm an 8 Enneagram, so some people call the 7 the wing of the Enneagram. And so 8 means I'm driven, self-driven, and I like to do things well. And 7 is I like to enjoy life and have fun. So really, anytime you come to anything that we are producing, it is going to be well done, impactful, and drive you towards success. And it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And we're going to make sure you enjoy life. So this is my official invitation. Just let us know your interest so we can make sure you're on the list for the Vixen Voice Summit. We'll do the first one in March. And based on how it is, we'll see if we can do it 4 times a year. That would be amazing. If we could bring one of them live, if you would love that, we can make that happen. All right. Where we can all get together in some amazing city in the United States and have a 2-day impactful event with lots of fun. All right. Love you all. Happy New Year. Dream big and create more win-win situations and collaborations in your life. That's my parting message for the first episode of 2025. Let's go get this year. And remember, the world needs more love. How are you going to show up in love this week? Talk to you all soon. Thanks again for listening to the podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit subscribe so future episodes are automatically downloaded directly to your device. And if you want access to today's show notes, including links to all the resources we mentioned, visit vixengathering.com/podcast. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you next week for another episode of The Vixen Voice.